Hey guys, today we'll take you through a day in the life of Momo. So around 7:30 a.m. is usually when we get up, and the first thing we do is give the cats breakfast so that they're out of our way while we get ready for work.
Because it's just the most important meal of the day.
Then around 8 a.m. we will take a little moment out of our day to just go sit in the sun with them and warm up. It's very important at the moment because it's winter in South Africa, which means that it's quite cold and the houses aren't very well insulated, so it's even colder inside. So just getting a little bit of sun is great for them and for us.
And during this time they generally just all hang out.
It's a really nice winter morning, so everyone's outside. Alice is always the most appreciative of the sunshine.
Usually all of the cats join us and Alice and Momo will spend some time together, have a little bout. Alice has a lot less energy than him, so she will generally be quite active in the mornings and then in the evenings. So that's usually when he knows to go to her and he can get a little bit of playtime out of her.
If you missed our video on cat relationships, I'll leave a link to that video in the description down below. Please go check it out. It's really cool to see how these two get along and what a bond they've formed. Like, they play all the time and they just get up to no good.
So around 10 a.m. is usually we've already started working by then and Momo will start entertaining himself. So as you can see, we keep boxes from deliveries and wrapping paper, because they're actually really great toys for cats to play on their own. So you can sprinkle them with catnip, put some toys in the middle, and it'll be a great interactive toy for them to use on their own as well.
And ironically, the toys that came in these boxes are not as interesting, of course. Just cutting a couple of holes, this makes like the most amazing cat toy in the world, apparently. Play the dangerous finger game. My hands are constantly scratched because, well...
Momo isn't that careful when he plays. He tends to be a little rougher, so he usually has his claws out. We have other cats like Alice who are very, very soft-pawed and who will... I don't think I've ever gotten scratched by Alice. You can see my husband doesn't take the whole I should be working thing very seriously, and usually then joins Momo and plays with him.
I take time out of my very busy work schedule to make these videos for the people out there. And to spend time with Momo, because he's just so cute.
Mostly to spend time with Momo because he's just so cute.
I mean, look at him.
Momo also has this fascination with chewing on boxes. I don't know if it's just him, but he really likes to just chew on the edges. You can see on all the boxes his little teeth marks. There we go. Thanks for demonstrating, Momo.
Momo still gets distracted very easily from play. He's like...
Attention span of a flea, that boy.
Flea is being generous. So the paper that comes in these deliveries is even more of an amazing toy than the boxes themselves. We have rolls of it lying around. The house looks like a maze, but the cats just love it. We sprinkle a bit of catnip in and they go nuts in the stuff.
Especially if you have more than one cat playing at the same time, because then they can like see each other's feet underneath and they'll basically just like jump and slide on it, and I think they really enjoy the crinkling sound as well. So as you can see, the house looks like a mess, which means that after 2 or 3 days I will usually be the one who then spoils all the fun and removes the paper because I get irritated with it. But we generally then have another delivery a couple weeks later, and at least it keeps the paper as a bit of a treat toy, so to say.
Meanwhile, the expensive cat toys are sitting in the cupboard, not being played with. Although there's one toy that Momo specifically loves. You'll see that later when we have playtime outside.
Lord, you went to town on these paper shots.
This is your footage.
I don't think you'd put all of it in. And he's so handsome. Such a handsome boy. So usually around 11 I will take a quick break from work to just do a training session with Momo.
Just after that little playing bout to reinforce that hunter reward instinct of theirs.
So we are busy teaching him high five, which is going quite well. He's got it pretty much down. He does get distracted very easily. As soon as if there's just a cat around him or any kind of noise, he does get distracted very easily. So it's important to do it every day and to try to be consistent.
We did do the video on teaching him give paw. If you missed that, it's also in the description below. Yeah, he has the attention span over Flea again. But he's also quite clever because you can see he's obviously focusing on the food that's in the hand. He's going, I'm not stupid.
He is catching on though, and if you have any suggestions what we should teach him next, please let us know.
Then Momo and Ryuu don't really get along. However, Momo loves seeing what Ryuu gets up to because he's slightly more his age. So in this case, Ryuu found a lizard or something in our grenadilla, and he's going to go check that out, and Momo is obviously very entertained by this as well.
Ryuu is very independent, so he's very much the cooler older brother who doesn't want to have anything to do with his little brother because he thinks he's very uncool.
Especially when Ryuu runs off, Momo tries running after him up the tree, but Momo's not the most talented climber, so he gets left behind, unfortunately.
Which is actually great for the older cats because they've noticed that Momo isn't agile, so if they really feel like they've had enough and they want some time out, they will just climb a tree, go on top of a wall, or just go higher up, and they know he can't follow, so they'll get some quiet time.
And then you see Ryuu just got upset with Momo, and off he goes. Probably up his tree. To safety.
But as you can see, they do get along well enough to hang out. It's just when Momo gets a little bit too pushy for Ryuu's taste that the fun is over.
And then, like in every cat's life, 18 hours minimum of sleeping. Although I think in Momo's case it's probably less than that. He is still very young, he's only 2 years old, and he is extremely active. So I think he sleeps a bit less than most of the other cats. The old cats, they sleep, probably like 20 hours a day.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure Alice is rocking 20 out of 24 hours. Don't you just wish you were a cat sometimes?
And after all that sleep, we now take them out into the garden and we're playing with them.
Which is also good for us because it creates a bit of a break in our workday, which is good for the human brain as well. And it keeps us from overworking. They distract us.
And what's great is Momo usually comes to us meowing, like reminding us that it's time to go outside. So we'll take them outside, and within a couple of minutes, all of them are there. Alice is displaying maximum effort.
But you can see she's still quite playful and quite active, despite her age. And you can see Maya's joined us as well. I'm sure Kebi and Ryuu won't be far behind.
And this is that toy that I was talking about. Momo loves this thing. He will run himself to death for this feather toy. When he catches us, he'll growl at us because he just loves it. And he's the only one that's allowed to play with it at a time.
Which also means that we do take it away. It's not just lying around in a house. It is only to be used under supervision. Then we usually go back to work and the cats will hang out on their own and either play with one another or hunt.
As in this case, I think they've spotted another lizard in a bush. We have a lot of lizards, and these two are real expert lizard and gecko hunters. I know it might sound harsh, but...
And look at this gorgeous boy. Isn't he the most handsome? So around 4:30 every day comes the best part of our day, because that's when Momo has the zoomies.
The way he zooms around the garden is just the most entertaining thing I have during my day, I think. often I'll be doing the dishes in the kitchen. I can just watch him going crazy through the garden. The sad thing is, as soon as you pull out the camera, they stop. The best is when Alice and Momo at the same time go running like crazy through the garden.
Because they'll jump, they'll sprint, they'll have their tails all poofed up, and they'll attack each other and then run away. It's like they're seeing ghosts sometimes. It's absolutely hilarious.
And then after all that play, it's nap time again. It's very important for every kitten to get that sleep in. And of course, that manicure.
A lot of grooming in between the napping. Even though Momo doesn't groom himself that much, because as we know, Alice does a lot of it for him. But this proves he does know how to groom if he needed to. Then around 8:30 we usually do one more playtime before dinner, just to reinforce that catching prey and...
That hunting instinct.
Yes.
And also just tires them out so that they sleep through the night. Very often, if we don't do this, they'll bug us in the middle of the night and then we don't get sleep. Then at about 8:40 we feed them dinner.
And you can see Momo is his hangry self, bugging the other cats because we're not getting the food in front of him fast enough. And then around 9:30 it's bedtime for everybody.
And that's it. That's a day in the life of Momo. If you enjoyed the video, please like it and consider subscribing. And we'll check you in the next one. Cheers.